The other thing we do that's extremely important is the offices we've got throughout the world. I know Representative Clem knows how difficult some of these deals are to make, and without our representatives sitting there in Tokyo, Seoul, and Shanghai with the expertise that they possess, Oregon companies wouldn't even be able to go over there. I won't say they wouldn't be able to, but it would be much more difficult for them to realize the success, and we can do it on a much shorter time frame. So in essence, that's our responsibility on foreign trade. But we also, when we do this, we look for opportunities for inbound opportunities for Oregon. And as Bill and Katie know, when we were in Japan, we met with 3 different Japanese companies. 2 of those companies are here today, Sanyo, which is located here in Salem, and our hope is to help them expand. They've been recently purchased by Panasonic, and Panasonic is looking to expand. And Toyo Tanzo. Toyo Tanzo is a Japanese company that has a facility in Troutdale that is looking to expand their operation by 50 employees. These are 50 high-paying jobs, and the relationship we have with them and taking the governor over to meet with them pays huge dividends. It gives, I think, Oregon a significant advantage to realize this growth with that company. So, and I think Bill might touch upon this, but the opportunities in Japan now are similar to what Representative Clem talked about in Korea. With all the disaster and all of the misfortune that's come to Japan, they also have a very strong yen, and it's becoming increasingly difficult to manufacture the products in Japan at a competitive price. So they're looking to expand other places. So we're looking to look at these companies like Sanyo and others to attract them to Oregon to build their manufacturing facilities here. So there's a lot of opportunities out there, and we're looking for growth.
Clem?
So, thank you, Mr. Chair. I know what the response is going to be, so you don't have to make it, but I have to say it again because last week, again, Taiwan, I was called over to the embassy there, and I was trying to ask them if they could help, and they're like, can you please put in a pitch to your colleagues to reopen your office in Taiwan? And I was like, are you going to help me with what I was asking you for or not? This is a negotiation now? She said, I just wanted to say it again. So every time I've been visiting with folks there, they talk about how important it is, just generally, not just Taiwan, how important it is for a state to establish its presence there. Because, just like we don't know every province in China or Korea, they don't know every state. They know some cities in the U.S., but they don't really know states unless you make a huge long-term effort. Japan is a place where, through our work there and over the years, the average Japanese person does know what Oregon is. There's TV shows, from Oregon with Love decades ago, and my wife's family's from Japan, so they know what Oregon is. But you go to China, like I'm from Oregon, like, is that at Hollywood? What is that? Is that New York? I'm like, no, it's near California. And they're like, oh, okay, they've maybe heard of California. And so these offices with people every day telling the Oregon story is what eventually leads to people saying, oh, I want Oregon wine, or I want Oregon this, or I want Oregon that. But trying for one company at a time to go and try and establishing a brand in a country that huge is difficult, unless you're Nike or somebody like that, or Intel. And so having these trade offices where somebody's out there beating the drum at every chamber of commerce meeting and every luncheon is key. And all these other states that around the country are doing it too, where they'll have, Mississippi will end up having an office somewhere where we, as a legislature, chose to close one. And it's tough every time I get lobbied by them about it because they want that office back. And I said, well, we'll see what we can do. I'll at least relay the message. So I've said it again once more for the benefit of the Taiwanese.
Your Representative Clem, co-chair, we did, as you know, at one time have an office in Taiwan, but 2 sessions ago with the budget cuts, we were forced to make tough decisions, and one of the decisions was to close that office with the intent of opening something in China because we didn't have anything in China. We had to wait. But the representative is right. I had been in Taiwan in 2006 in October, and we were over there with an Oregon company, Met One Instruments, out of Grants Pass. Met One makes devices that measure air particulates in the air, and they had just made, through a distributor in Taiwan, the single largest sale to China that they'd ever made. And since that sale was made in 2006, their relationship with China has just grown by leaps and bounds. In fact, the last time we were there, they presented one to the Shanghai Air Quality Institute or something along those lines, where they gave them a device to put on the roof in Shanghai to measure air particulates. And since they did that, I believe the city of Shanghai has ordered 12 to 15 units, and these are not inexpensive units. So, but I understand their plea.